Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Introduce the guest. Introduce yourself.
Oh damn, I haven't done this in a while. Sam. Yeah, that's me.
I see you and Mello doing up content this week.
Yeah. No, Melo's come on the footy agenda a few times.
He's
He's a fan favourite, man.
Football Daily's finest.
You talking about Arsenal on the pod.
But he's honest though. He's an honest Arsenal fan. That's why it's good, man. Sometimes some Arsenal fans quite deluded, you know. So I appreciate Melo's standpoint as a fan.
He wants to be a persuado intellectual. That's what trying to be like that.
He spoke about a European Cup in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's what playing football manager from the early days gets you. Look at all the stats, the trophies. You know what I mean?
Persuado intellectual.
I feel you.
You like Pep, innit? Trying to overthink it.
I'm not overthinking. I just tell how it is, you know. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be. No cap.
I see.
No cap in my rap.
Let me ask you the quick fire questions to get you into the pod.
Cool.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi, man.
LeBron or Jordan?
Ooh. Jordan, just because I watched the doc.
Larry or Magic? I'm taking you back.
Oh, that's taking me back still. What I know of is Larry now. I don't, yeah.
City or Liverpool? Prime City, Prime Liverpool.
City, man.
Mayweather or Ali?
Oh, Ali, man.
Free or AJ?
AJ.
Pep or Klopp?
Pep.
Mbappe or Haaland?
Mbappe.
And favourite sport? Football, basketball?
Football.
Football's the first love.
Yeah, first.
And that's where we're going to start the pod off today.
Lovely.
Start the pod off today with the Hall of Fame. So recently there's been two new inductees. And who were they, Melo, as you said?
This morning, this early afternoon, I believe Eric Cantona was the first, so making the third after Henry and Shearer, followed by Roy Keane. So obviously two Man United legends. I can't really argue too tough. I mean, Man United basically dominated the Premier League era. Even though Cantona wasn't in my six, which I'm going to go into soon, but I do respect him, being third. He's well within his rights. Roy Keane was in with my six as well, so I can't complain with that. So yeah.
So Sam, how did you feel about those inductees?
I think it makes sense. I think we're just going to start seeing a few names that like everyone would have predicted. I think Eric Cantona, he defined an era of football, so it's only right for him to go in there. Roy Keane, he captained one of the best teams to grace the Premier League, so it makes sense as well. I think there's going to be quite a few United names in contention for like the next few spots, and obviously some Chelsea players because we did our thing as well.
I think there's going to be quite a few Chelsea players going in next time, from how I see it. But I'm not surprised that the United players going in. I'm more surprised that Giggs was missed. He wasn't included in it.
He's not going to be able to be spoken about for a while.
Yeah,
to be honest.
The cases and all the issues are
politics.
The politics.
Yeah,
too much politics.
I mean, it's sad because, like I said before, just keep it on the field. Premier League accolades, it should be minimum top three, minimum.
I wouldn't put him top three though. Longevity wise, yeah, fair enough. But at the same time, he wasn't nothing special.
I'm not saying he's the best, but I'm saying all Premier League career, he's basically Mr. Premier League. He's got the most trophies, second most appearances.
Yeah.
I guess putting him in, he should be in that order, either 1, 2, or 3. But obviously, outside stuff do come into it. So yeah.
So from the first 4 inductees, what do you think like the criteria has been for the Hall of Fame? Like, what is the criteria? I
feel like defining a position or an era in it. Like, I feel like Shearer was one of the best strikers that, like, he was one of the, like, he's been an idol from early. Him and Henry, you can't really complain. Like, 2 different eras in a sense. They kind of met each other during their prime and that. But I don't think there was any player that was better than them, even if they weren't winning the leagues or winning trophies. And they both ended up winning trophies anyway. And they were a part of 2 teams that one went against the mold in a sense where United was expected to win it. Then Blackburn did their thing. Then the Invincibles, Henry. Think that it makes sense. Really.
from what I see, yeah, those two definitely make sense. How about you, Melo?
Well, Henry and Shearer. Henry and Shearer make 110% sense to me. I mean, like I said before, Shearer, record goal scorer. Like Simon said, arguably the best player of the 90s in the Premier League. Henry, the best player of the 2000s. So Shearer, like I said, Shearer, record goal scorer. Henry, the best player the Premier League, to grace the Premier League, in my opinion. Obviously, you know, people like Ronaldo, but Ronaldo's, you know, most of his elite career has been at in Spain and other places. So yeah, so those two I couldn't really argue with at all. What about yourself?
Me personally, I'm a big Henry fan, so seeing him in there, you know, it's like justification for what he did for the Premier League. Because he inspired a lot of people, man, to play the game, to even support Arsenal. That's why there's a whole generation of like Black British guys that support Arsenal. Because back then, during that era when I was growing up, Arsenal was the team, man. Arsenal was the team that was played a nice football, that had players that looked like you. So that's the team. And then Man United was the team I hated. Back there, I hated them. I hated Chelsea so much back there. But you know, I can't complain because they were the two biggest rivals. So I'll be shocked if a Chelsea player doesn't go in because next.
I mean, next as in
fifth because they're basically the second best team of the Premier League era. Basically, them and City's starting to creep. But I'll be shocked if a Chelsea player is not fifth. The fifth player.
How many are they putting in? Do you know?
I believe it's 6
altogether.
No, they're putting 2, so it's gonna be the next 6. So we've got 4 more to put in, and then I'm assuming they might do another lot next year.
Okay.
So who would be the next 4 off the top of your head? Who would be your next 4 in? Then
I think Lampard, Ashley Cole has to go in there. Oh, JT. That's just my three Chelsea players that I think need to go in there. And then it's a sticky one because like, there's a few players like I feel like even if we say these players are going to come in this round, the players that aren't mentioned are going to be in the next round, and I don't think like there's going to be that much of a violation in it. It's not like time's running out in a sense. Like it's not like they're not going to be able to be in it. Like players like Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand, like Sol Campbell, like Tony Adams, all of these players there. I guess they're eventually going to be in it. But if I was going to say 4 players, I'd say those 3 Chelsea players. Because I'm a defender, I'm leaning towards more defenders in it. So I'm going to say Rio, you know.
I think now the issue is like how exclusive does the Hall of Fame go? Because like, what is the quality of a player that doesn't make it? I'm guessing Gary Neville, does he make it?
I think he makes it because of longevity, innit? If you're talking about gigs.
I feel Gary Neville will because of the amount of championships he won. And, you know.
So it's just purely being on championship team.
No, but
does that mean John O'Shea can make it?
But at a point he was one of the best right backs in the league, and he played for the best team, won everything, and obviously, realistically, politics like outside of sport, like when he's retirement, he's contributed a lot to the game as well. So
because
I think he
they haven't really defined it, but just on the field of his punditry. I'm assuming they're probably allow coaches to come in, but Gary Neville obviously hasn't been a coach. I mean,
I'm surprised they haven't mentioned anything about coaches because if they were going to do coach, I would have just inducted Ferguson and Wenger straight in, and then Mourinho as well, and then from there you could probably like finagle the other guys that you wanted to get in basically. So like I want to know like, do you think Gerrard gets in overall?
Yeah, we'll get an overall, but
I don't think he'll be in this one though.
He won't be.
I don't think he'll be in this round though.
Too many guys have won too many titles.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because if it's a Premier League Hall of Famers, then unfortunately,
sorry Gerrard.
Sorry, like you know what I mean. Like he's got close and probably should have won at least one title, but because he didn't, other players are going to go ahead of him, not because of ability, but because of accolades in the Premier League.
So that winning the Premier League is obviously going to be a massive criteria.
Yeah, I think for the first few rounds that they do it for.
I mean, they're purely on Premier League, you know, resume, and so with that, like I said, even though as much as I love Gerrard and I put him with guys like Lampard, but Lampard goes above him. Even Scholes go above him. So my next 4 will be Lampard. I had Keane before, but Keane's already in there. Rio, Ashley Cole, and Vieira. That'll be my next 4.
I think Vieira deserves a shout because he's very definitive. The Keane and Vieira, having Keane without Vieira just makes it feel.
Yeah, it's true.
He makes it feel uneven. Like it doesn't feel fair. I think John Terry should be the next one.
Yeah,
Could be.
I think he will be. I think Ashley Cole, JT. I think Ashley Cole, JT, Lamps have to be in that next round, innit?
I don't know if all of them.
If all four,
No,
then
but
that
they
means
have
no
to
Rio,
though. They have to though.
Yeah, Vieira,
no Vieira, no Adams.
Adam. Some people say Bergkamp.
Nah,
Not
Bergkamp-
yet, man.
I think well, if Cantona's getting in, Bergkamp's getting in as well.
It's not the same.
3 titles, Bergkamp.
To be fair, Bergkamp did his thing, but I don't think it's the same in terms of like for Arsenal maybe like defining an era, yeah. But Cantona was like the actual league in a sense. Like for me, obviously I rated Bergkamp and the world of football rated Bergkamp, but it was one of them ones that you realised it. I realised it more after the period that he was playing, if that makes sense. Okay. Cantona, you could kind of just feel his aura type of thing. So it's a different type of.
Is it? But also Cantona is crazy because if you talk about on and off the field, Cantona's got loads of off the field issues and he's still got in.
But it weren't that crazy compared to like them,
just
man.
fly kicked on it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
sometimes
you be like seagulls like as well. Let's talk about seagulls as well. You know,
sometimes it be like you just got a fly kick at one time, you know.
Them French man like fly kicking, man. They just
yeah, fam. I mean, who's your next one then?
I think I like John Terry, Cole, because he best left back for so long.
I think he's the best Premier League defender all the time.
I would agree with that.
So I'm going to say John Terry, Cole, and then Ferdinand, and then Vieira. I'm going to make it even so it's not all just dominated by one team.
No, Lamps.
Vieira over Lamps though. I don't know if that's right.
The Lampard thing. Lampard is I think Lampard will
highest goal scoring midfielder in the league. Won multiple titles.
It's up there in assists as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I even like Drogba going in soon as well. I like what Drogba did as well. But
no, Drogba will get
have
there.
to wait a couple of years.
He'll get there. But
because there's a thing, and it means that to be first ballot. So essentially, the next 4 are going to be first ballot because obviously, I don't think they'll count Henry and Shearer as being first ballot.
But the way they do it in America is like when you're eligible after 5 years, then they will be like, oh, you've retired 5 years. Then they will go like you're up for ballot. Like some people won't even make the ballot because their class is just so strong, so you have to wait. But the way the Premier League is doing it, it's like there's such a backlog of players. You have to bring them. They are bringing them all through at the same time. So there's gonna be some players that we haven't even heard of in years that are gonna come back round in the ballot like round and round. Like think about it. Around that time, sometimes might even say Steve Bruce might be a Premier League Hall of Famer if they go back to their very inception.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he was a very solid defender.
yeah, so there's
gonna
gonna be like we're thinking of
Gary Pallister.
Gary Pallister, all those United man from that
hella
time.
United man.
Bare United man.
So who would be the first? Let's say the first 3 non-title players to get in.
Gerrard.
Yeah.
Letitia probably.
Yeah. What's his name on that time?
Who else? Probably Carragher, you know. Probably I can see a Carragher being in that conversation.
So if guys like Carragher of that level, of Carragher's level, start getting in, does that start to dilute the Hall of Fame and it will start to mean less? Or...
Carragher wasn't dead though. He wasn't like and.
What Michael Owen? Actually, one with United.
Yeah, he won the title. No, Carragher. I think Carragher. He wasn't like world class, but he was the bracket under, I'd say, for Liverpool.
But if guys like Carragher get in, does that start? It just starts to water down the quality of what you want from the Hall of Fame because you want the elite, the best of the best because that's the Hall of Fame. Like
but it depends on how. Like, let's say this time round they're getting 10 people. Yeah, next time it might not be another 10. It might be a 2. Or like so they can kind of make it gradual because I don't think if they try and do 10 every single time then they're gonna run out of players, isn't it?
Too many.
Yeah, they're gonna make it like 5. I think it's 5 a year.
5, 6, 4, something like that. Yeah, I'll be happy with that.
Guys like Rooney will have to wait.
We didn't wait.
You have to wait. Like he's 5.
I mean, Rooney. He's
only
not
wait 2-3 years time.
He's only not eligible now because he's only just recently retired. I think.
So how many years?
I think we're eligible next season.
Is Rooney first ballot?
I think he should be.
He definitely is up there.
Yeah, he's second top goal scorer, I believe. Right? Was he?
Second top goal scorer
Behind Shearer.
Yeah.
Is he overtaken I thought
he's up there.
Is he above Aguero?
I think he's above Aguero.
I think he's the only other guy with 200 goals, aside from Shearer, I believe.
That's interesting though.
He got how many titles? Like 5-6 titles. He's got what's it called? He's one of the youngest goal scorers as well. Shearer, Rooney should definitely be up there first ballot.
Yeah,
Rooney will get in. It'll be interesting to see Rooney. Rooney's class of the guys that are going in with him though, because it's good. If it's next year, you got Rooney, and then whoever's left over. So you might have Vieira.
You might have Bergkamp. You might have guys like Owen Campbell, Les Ferdinand, Andy Cole, those sort of guys. So yeah,
Beckham.
Does Les Ferdinand get in?
I think he'll get it eventually. He's one of the top goal scorers.
I think Andy Cole gets in before these guys.
Oh, yeah, Andy Cole, he's got the titles as well. He's got like 6 titles. Andy Cole, I won't be surprised if Andy Cole gets in next year.
Andy Cole's a batsman. I think he was banging in a lot of goals back then in that era.
Robbie Fowler as well.
Yeah, and he didn't win the title, did he?
He didn't win the title. Yeah, he didn't. Fowler was a good player. He was a very good player. Off the field, there's no blight. I guess if off the field is now a factor. So
It's not a big factor, but it is in a sense. If you're a criminal and you're being charged, then that's when it's different, in it. But
yeah, when you do a match,
it's actually even mad for Giggs because he's not even coaching Euros.
Oh, trust, yeah. You forget what he's a coach of.
Decisions.
He's not even coaching
Life's about
Euros.
choices.
It's true. There's actions.
Life's about choices.
You forget he's actually the coach of Wales.
Yeah, they had to.
There's a time when he's a national treasure. Man won Sports Personality of the Year, you know.
Yeah, there was a time he was national treasure, but you make a mistake, you can't bounce back from it.
What's happened to Giggs reminds me of what happened to Tiger Woods. You know how Tiger Woods is seen as this pristine character, and then one happened, and another incident happened, it's all gone tumbling down.
It happens when you become an elite character, you know, and there's not much on you. They'll find something, and then obviously.
No, that wasn't a fine thing.
But his one is mad. I don't know what he was
crazy.
doing.
Yeah, Giggs was doing
He's crazy. He's doing like he's even, to be fair, obviously the situation that's come out now, that's why he's lost his job, and that is different to the situation with his brother. But that situation alone,
that brother thing was mad.
That's not gonna make you lose like your football credibility, but you lose a lot of like respect, man.
Does Beckham go in?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Beckham did a lot for the game, man.
He did.
Did a lot for the game.
Not necessarily Premier League though.
Globally, it was at his best probably in the Premier League though. Before he went to Madrid, he was a very good player.
Yeah. I think he had a year or two after he left United that he was at that.
It's at his peak.
Yeah.
How about any current players? Who if there was any current players that you were looking at now who are locks?
Aguero, Kante.
Aguero, Kante.
Who else is there? Probably someone like Salah.
David Silva. I'll put him in. He was on the Premier League.
Yaya will probably, out of the City players, it's going to be the City.
It's just the City core, core. Company,
yeah.
Silva.
Even Joe Hart might, there's a few keepers that are going to get a shout. I think Czech's going to get a shout.
Schmeichel will be the first.
Schmeichel
will be the first.
Seaman
will be probably after.
No, I think Czech will be before Seaman.
He might do, actually.
He might.
I think Schmeichel will definitely be the first.
Lehman not getting in.
Lehman. He was part of the Invincibles. He might.
No, he's not getting in. No.
He might do.
No.
He
He did.
Oh, trust, yeah.
He's definitely not getting in after that. He's definitely not holding.
Saying mad stuff now.
They're doing crazy shit.
My guy Kudicini could get in. I used to like Kudicini back day, man.
Come on.
Kudicini was clean, man. No, he won't get in.
Here's one for you. Would Lumba get in?
No,
Perez will though.
Okay.
Perez is a lot higher than a lot of guys.
Okay, Perez is a quality baller.
Perez before Gerrard.
Chill out.
In the Premier League, he's done more for the Premier League
I
than
don't know. I don't know if that's right.
Who won PFA Player of the Year?
I don't know if that's right.
Gerrard won one as well.
I don't know if that's right.
I mean, I love Perez, but the Gerrard.
Who will get in before Gerrard?
Here's one for you. Would someone like Gilberto Silva get in?
No.
And I love Gilberto Silva. He's a quality player.
But now we're just naming players that were good.
You can't let the good players get in. Then it waters down what it is.
Part of the Invincibles. Obviously, this is outside.
Everyone's got something that they can state a claim to.
Will Ricardo Carvalho get in? No.
No.
See? So you have to make it the best of them.
Man, Yeah.
I think you might, you know.
He won 2, but he won't though. It wasn't until like 5-6 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about. I'm talking about
5-6 years.
In general. Like, let's say the next 5-6 years. Yeah.
5-6 years. How about Ivanovic?
Yeah, Ivanovic
gets in
eventually.
I think eventually, yeah, he's one of the top.
He's one of the best right backs.
I'm
ever
just
graced
saying.
the Prem.
So we're saying you have to be the best at your position, but
You have to be.
how many years though?
You have to be in at least the conversation of the best ever in it in your position. Some of these players that we're mentioning, like the Gerrards, fair enough, he didn't win the Premier League, but everyone knew that he was one of the best in it. So he deserves to be in that. He deserves to be in that conversation. Maybe not at the top, but he will definitely be in either this next few years because of the contribution that he played. He gave to the Premier League without lifting it.
That's true.
But players like Lundberg and Gilberto Silva and that, like, them man were good.
They're just background on.
But they had moments.
I think because they were part of it, so I'll give him a push.
Nah, man. That means you can bring in Lauren and them, man. Like, nah.
It depends on the titles you won.
Nah, it doesn't depend.
See, that bit. Like, if that's the level, then we're talking about guys that had committed service. I'm saying guys that have been in the league. They were in the league for a solid amount of time.
Yeah.
They were the best in it. They were in the top 5 of their position for the 5 years or for a 5-year period, and they probably won a title or won an individual award. Might look at them and how many times were you in the team of the year? That kind of criteria, and that's good. That will make it.
But what's the minimum years would you say though for a player to make the Hall of Fame? Like, how many years should they have committed to the Premier League?
5 years minimum.
Ideally 5.
How many years was Ronaldo here for?
6.
Okay.
It was 03. He came in it.
Yeah. 6.
Okay, yeah. That's
yeah. But then it's going to be exceptional cases. Like someone like Ronaldo, you're here for what? Even if you were only here for like 3 years,
Ronaldo's here for his
and
last
ripped it
3
up
years and did what he did, he would have gone in. Of course.
Yeah.
He's Ronaldo, but yeah, because Ronaldo is just a complete exception.
I'm trying to think of someone that was here for a short period that could get in.
Okay, here's one. If Salah left now, would you still get in?
Yeah, he scored a record goal scorer, so that would give him the credit.
Okay. What about Mane? Would you still get in if he left now?
Mane wouldn't. I don't think Mane's in that combo.
He wouldn't.
Interesting.
I think maybe if KDB's.
I think players like Henderson are gonna get in.
Yeah. Captain.
Yeah, players like Henderson, Van Dijk, maybe Vardy, 100%.
Vardy's getting in, man.
Mahrez, Kante. I think that trio from Leicester.
So memorable seasons as well.
And Schmeichel, the other Schmeichel.
Yeah, if you have a memorable season,
crazy season.
Yeah, then you'll get in as well. Like if your season it's basically how I see the Hall of Fame. Can you write the story of the Premier League without mentioning the person's name? Yeah, that's a way of like you can't mention the Premier League without mentioning Shearer, without mentioning Henry, without saying something about Keane, without mentioning Cantona. So if you can write the story without saying the person's name, then you shouldn't even be in this conversation.
That's a good way to measure it. But I think it's gonna get watered down eventually.
Of course, yeah.
Because they're gonna run out of players like that.
In England, UK,
everyone needs to get
happy. Even in NBA, they do that a lot as well. Even though they make guys wait.
NBA is the worst, man.
But to be honest, the basketball's not the NBA one, to be fair. So
the basketball one is the worst. Like the way some people that didn't put up stats, did nothing, are in the Hall of Fame. Like it's just, it's a mess.
But they boy some people, like some guys like Ben Wallace, they're only getting now.
No, Ben Wallace should have never got in though.
How many times
you play basketball on both ends? And man,
how many times?
But yeah, like they bully people like Chris Webber and Chris Bosh. They bully those kind of characters. But I guess that's a more individual sport than football. Football is more of a team. They're unity. So what you add to the team, like being a great captain, will help you get in. Being just all those little attributes that you bring to the team will help.
Intangibles.
Yeah, the intangibles. Look at you, man.
Intangibles.